Good leadership begins with clear intention. But great leadership? It begins with culture. Now, I don't mean slogans on the wall. I don't mean HR town halls with values printed in bold font. I mean the lived experience, the feeling people carry when they work on your team. And here's what no one tells you in your first week as a new manager. Whether you're aware of it or not, you're already building culture. Welcome to the Lead Lab. Today's session is for the new leaders, the ones who just got the title, just started the role, and quietly realize you're not just managing work. You're shaping how work feels. And that is culture. Let's talk about how to build it, not by accident, but on purpose. Key first. Culture begins with what you model. Now I want you to think of this, not as a metaphor, but as a mirror. Your team doesn't do what you write in emails. They do what they see you repeat. If you treat people with respect in private and in public, that's what spreads. If you're the last to show up and the first to interrupt, that spreads too. Leadership isn't about declarations. It's about demonstration. Deloitte research confirms this. 88% of employees say culture is critical to business success, but only 12% say their companies are actually driving it. Why the gap? Because managers often don't realize their behavior is the culture. So here's the question. Are you modeling what you want multiplied? Hammer and wrench second. Culture is built in the mundane, not the milestone. We tend to romanticize culture, like it happens in big speeches, vision decks, company launches. But in reality? It's built in how you start Monday meetings. In how you handle a missed deadline. In what you do when someone speaks up and says, "I don't think that's working." Brain in Google's landmark project Aristotle. The highest performing teams shared one trait. Psychological safety. The sense that people could take risks without being punished. And here's the catch. Psychological safety isn't declared. It's earned, in the way a manager listens, reacts, and creates space in everyday moments. So ask yourself, not, did I build culture last quarter? But, did I build it in my last conversation? Because that's where it lives. In the ordinary. Handshake third. Don't build culture for your team. Build it with them. Too many first-time managers make the mistake of designing culture alone. But the best leaders ask questions. What helped you thrive in the past? What kind of culture frustrates you? What do we want to be known for, as a team? And when you ask, really ask, you invite people to take ownership. And ownership breeds care. A McKinsey study showed that employees who feel heard are 4.6x more likely to be empowered and motivated in their work. This isn't about giving away control. It's about co-creating something sustainable. Because culture built with people is culture they protect. Straight ruler fourth. Culture doesn't require perfection. It demands consistency. Let me say something that I hope relieves some pressure. You don't have to get everything right. You will make mistakes. You will miss things. But your team doesn't expect perfection. They expect to know what version of you is showing up today. They expect you to act in alignment with what you say. To be the same leader when you're under pressure, as you are on a good day. Harvard Business Review found that when managers are perceived as consistent, teams report higher psychological safety, lower burnout, and more innovation, even in fast-paced environments. It's not about being flawless. It's about being reliable. That's what builds trust. And trust is the soil culture grows from. Hourglass fifth. Culture compounds, and your first 90 days matter more than you think. Here's the part people often overlook. The culture you start building right now will echo for months, even years. Your first 90 days, how you speak, how you listen, how you respond, that's your foundation. MIT Sloan research shows that in newly formed teams, the behaviors established in the first few weeks often set patterns that shape everything, from trust to collaboration, long term. So don't wait to define culture. You're defining it already. Every message. Every meeting. Every moment. The only question is, are you defining it with intention? Bullseye final thought. Let's close with this. Culture isn't built in a workshop. It's built in your habits. It isn't built with charisma. It's built with care. It's not built once. It's built daily. You don't need a fancy playbook. You don't need years of experience. You just need to lead with clarity, consistency, and courage, one day at a time. Because if you're a first-time manager wondering whether you're building culture, you are. The question is, what kind? Thank you for joining this episode of the Lead Lab. If this gave you something to think about, a way to show up differently tomorrow, share it with someone else who's leading for the first time. And if you're here to lead not just with skill, but with purpose, hit subscribe. Because culture isn't a side effect. It's the legacy you build in real time. And you're building it already.